Okay, so we have Taylor from group. So Taylor, tell me, like, what was your relationship with food and or body growing up?
Growing up, I was a cheerleader and a dancer, and so I was in like a really competitive environment with other women. I grew up with a sister and a mom that has like dieted her whole life. So I became aware at a very young age that, you had to limit food or do hit a certain amount of activity to lose weight. And so even stuff that I enjoyed, like doing swim team and things like that, it was all tied to weight loss. And my mom kind of teaching me about that, and she struggled with her weight growing up, and so I think she felt like that was like a gift to me almost, that she was really helping me. But um and I developed very early, so I grew up like very much just at odds with my body. And like I can't remember even being so little, like I can't remember ever a time where I wasn't thinking about changing it. Like I felt like that I wanted to shrink since I was in like fourth grade. Um, so yeah, that was my relationship growing up.
What was your breaking point with diet culture that moved you to like move out of that into like intuitive eating or find food freedom?
I went through a really tough period during COVID. Um, Actually, like the opposite, like I really wasn't eating a lot because of stress, and started going to therapy, and just thinking about treating myself more kindly. And I actually, I came across intuitive eating, like the concept of it, from Victoria Garrick on TikTok. And then I started like getting connected to all the people on TikTok, and then eventually Sammy and all that. So that's where I kind of learned about it. But I knew at that point that I didn't want to diet anymore because I was just like exhausted from the thought of it. Like just figuring out what my next plan was or what I was supposed to do. I just like really needed some freedom from that. And like I did it like half in for a long time. And then I was like, I want some guidance for it. So I read the book first, which was good, and then came to Find Food Freedom.
Can you describe your experience in group?
Group was really welcoming. Everybody was really open. You made it really open for us to share as well during that time. You provided resources when we needed them, like even the emails after group. You can kind of go down a rabbit hole with those, different things, just like learning more about it. It was just a place to ask questions. And honestly, it would just offered some like accountability too, because if you don't have someone, or if you don't have that, like, as like almost like a guiding like light or something, you just aren't really doing intuitive eating. It's easy to fall back out of it and kind of like go back into old patterns. And it just like kept me on the path of um of not trying to slide back into bad habits.
What is your relationship with food like now?
Um my relationship with food is complicated now. It's for the better. The one thing that I like have noticed since I started doing intuitive eating, like the big positive is like I do not panic for doctor's appointments, events. Like when I have something fun coming up on the weekend, I have no like doubt in my mind that I'll be able to like fully be a part of that thing. Like that's been by far like the biggest change that I noticed is like, oh, I don't have to stress about that. Like that's amazing. But then like also like the biggest the hardest part has been like so many body changes because you just um you're still trying to let go of like having control of your body. So your body will change and you can't lean back on like, I'm going to diet my way out of this. And so that's been the hard part. But I will say, like, the big, the most positive marker of it is that, like, I don't have to worry about those events and stuff anymore.
It's amazing. What would you say to someone who's considering group?
I would say that if you're looking for like guidance and a little bit more information, or you're interested in intuitive eating, but you don't really know how to do it, group is a good option for you. It just gives you a place to kind of ask your questions and feel a little bit more assured in your journey, and makes things feel a little bit more real, and a lot less scary.
Thank you. That's awesome.